Hey there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward, back again with another Ask Lee video Q&A. Now today I got a question that was sent in through the Total Fitness Bodybuilding app by Zach. And Zach is asking about going into a cutting phase. He says, from the way I understand it, when you bulk, you want to be in a slight caloric surplus so that your body can use the carbs as your source of energy and not use the protein that is being used to rebuild your muscle. I'm a little confused on how consuming a caloric deficit works, however. I want to still be able to gain muscle when I start my cutting phase, obviously not as much as when bulking, while also burning fat and becoming more cut and lean. From some descriptions, I get the idea that you're either gaining muscle from a bulking diet or losing fat from a cutting diet, never being able to achieve both. Would you be able to clear this up for me? Thanks, Zach. All right, Zach. When it comes to bulking and cutting and whether or not you can actually build muscle and lose body fat at the same time, there's not a one-size-fits-all answer. It's very individual, and it depends on the individual in question. It depends on their training situation. It depends on their training experience, and basically whether or not they're new to training, been training for years, coming back to the gym after a layoff. I mean, there's so many different variables that can come into play. But I'll kind of give you some generalizations to help, clarify this for you, and hopefully it'll help you with your own training. When somebody is brand new to training or coming back to the gym after a layoff, they can build muscle and lose body fat relatively easy, because at this stage when your body is deconditioned, any type of training you do is going to provide new muscle stimulation. And just the fact of eating a clean, consistent diet, focusing on natural, unprocessed foods and skipping the fast foods and the junk foods and all that kind of stuff is going to encourage you to build muscle while burning body fat at the same time. I mean, just being consistent with the basics will move most people in the right direction. Now, once you're past that initial beginner phase and you've been consistent with your training, consistent with your diet and all that for an extended period of time, then it becomes more of a challenge to either gain muscle or lose body fat. That's when you really need to get into a specific bulking or cutting program. And I mean, for someone who's brand new, just starting up, I wouldn't recommend bulking or cutting. I would actually recommend, hey, let's eat a maintenance calorie diet. Just focus on eating until you're comfortably full with good, natural, unprocessed, wholesome foods, getting a good balance of protein, carbs, and healthy fat, and lots of veggies and all that stuff, a good, solid diet, being consistent with weight training, consistent with cardio. And for the majority of people, especially if you're in your first year of training or you're coming back to the gym after some time off, that will be enough to move you in the right direction. You will build muscle, you will burn body fat. But like I mentioned before, it's when people are more advanced, that's when things get tricky. Because depending on the individual, I mean, if we're talking like an advanced competitive bodybuilder, they have to go through phases of off-season bulking and then pre-contest cutting. I mean, they can't bulk and cut at the same time. I mean, if there was such a thing as an advanced bodybuilder bulking and getting shredded at the same time, there would never be an off-season and pre-contest. We'd always be in this infinite mass-building, fat-cutting phase, but it just doesn't work that way. The more advanced you are, that's when you really have to differentiate your different training cycles in order to encourage new muscle growth and in order to encourage fat loss when it comes time to cut. So that's when it gets tricky. All right. Now, if you wanted some help with that, I actually have a program that is designed for competitive bodybuilders, and it's an advanced program, obviously, to differentiate how to transition from an off-season bulking program to a pre-contest cutting program. And it outlines a 6-month strategy to take you from, again, off-season right up to hitting your peak on contest day. So, I mean, that is an advanced program. It's called Your First Bodybuilding Competition, and it's available on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Inner Circle members website. So if you wanted to check that out, you can head on over to totalfitnessbodybuilding.com and register to become a member there, and you get access to that program. But again, for the majority of people watching this, if you're in your first year or two of training, just being consistent, like I was saying, and focusing on not bulking and stuffing yourself, not cutting and starving yourself, but just eating a comfortable maintenance diet with good solid foods. I'm talking about a good balance of protein, carbs, and fat. And when you're looking at the ideal macronutrient ratio, I mean, to start off, I'm a big fan of going a third of each. You know, a third protein, third carbs, and a third fat. And that gives you an ideal ratio, an optimal ratio to provide a good hormonal balance in your body. And it's not really going to cause, you know, a lot of blood sugar fluctuations and things like that. So it's good to have that ideal balance and to maximize that for what it's worth. I mean, you can make a lot of progress following that type of diet. And if you want a sample diet and training program to help you with this, I have one right on my website. It's called the 3 Keys to Building Muscle. And I'll have a link to it in the video description below. Or you can go on over to my website at leehayward.com and download a copy for yourself. And again, this covers a sample muscle building, training, and nutrition program that you can follow that will help to encourage lean gains while losing body fat at the same time. So hopefully this helps to answer your question or at least shed some light on it. I mean, again, it's not specific because the specific answers depend on the actual individual, the level that they're training, their experience, and all that kind of stuff. So again, it's not a one-size-fits-all answer, and that's what makes this stuff so complicated, because you're reading something designed for one particular person. Maybe it's a competitive bodybuilder, and if you're not at that advanced competitive bodybuilder stage, then that information may not be applicable to you at this time. And then vice versa, you may read something else that's designed for a brand new person who's just getting started. And again, if you are past that stage, that information is not applicable to you. So it can be confusing because you have to find what's applicable to you right now. You know, there's no best program or best diet. It's what's best for you right now, and that's what you need to follow. So, like I say, it can be challenging, and it's going to evolve as you evolve. I mean, the program and the diet and everything else that you're following now that's probably producing results, you know, a year from now or a couple years from now or heck, even 6 months from now, that may not work for you. Your body, as your body changes, so does your diet and training protocols have to change in order to accommodate making further progress. So, again, I know I'm kind of rambling on here now, and I'm going to cut this video short, but check out those programs if you want more information. Your first bodybuilding competition, the 3 Keys to Building Muscle. I'll have a link to them down in the video description below. And if you have any comments or feedback or anything like that, go ahead, post those in the comments section below, and I will talk to you in my next video. Take care. Over and out. And just one more thing before you go. I have a special gift for you. It's a free 51-page report called The 3 Keys to Building Muscle. This report is an easy read, and it covers the fundamentals to getting in shape: training, nutrition, and mindset. The training section will show you how to combine strength training workouts and cardio conditioning together for building lean muscle while burning body fat at the same time. The nutrition section will show you how to figure out the exact number of calories that you need for your body type and the proper ratio of protein, carbohydrates, and fat. It even outlines a sample daily meal plan that you can follow along with. And finally, the section on mindset will help set you up for success by taking a practical and realistic approach to goal setting and following through with your fitness program. To download your copy, just click on the link in the video description below or visit my website at leehayward.com.